and I use the term loosely. This project has turned into a raging stampede to the finish line. Let me tell you, we are getting so close. Today, I've got about 6 or 8 little parts like this I powder coated. This part here is the top engine mount / ignition switch panel / coil mount. If you like the cardboard aided design, the CAD file on this, I'll be glad to send you a photocopy. You can see here outlined is the original top motor mount. And using 1/8" steel, I fabricated all the rest of this, welded it to the engine mount, and then scored it along the bed lines. So I bend it here and I bend it here. When I made the real one, I bent it here. Get the bend to come in. There we go. I bent it there, and I bent it there, and then I kind of hammered this joint together and just got a cutoff wheel and cut off where these surfaces met and welded it. So the piece of steel mounted to the motor mount, of course, is here. The cut and the weld line for the bend is here, and this is the rest of it. This is going to be the ground point for the magneto, so I needed bare metal. I also need the bare metal to conduct to the engine. So here is the bare metal that's going to conduct to the engine. And there is a corresponding spot on the head where this surface will meet some more bare metal. I'm just going to fit this up here finger tight. Nice, if I do say so myself. I'm not quite ready to hook up wiring and such, but it's coming soon. One of these is going to kill the mag, and the other one is going to turn the bike and the points on. All right, the next thing I'm going to hook up is the brake foot peg linkages and such. And I did a previous video about this, and I changed my mind about part of the design, and I'll tell you what part it was and why I changed my mind. Okay, this is part of the design that I changed. I had originally intended to weld this bracket to the foot peg and the whole shoot match over here. I decided not to do that because I don't know. I just decided not to do it. I decided it would be cumbersome, and I went with what you see here. And one of the considerations of this is the brake pedal has to have an upstop. Without an upstop, the pedal could rotate up and the rod will fall out of the master cylinder. So you have to have an upstop. And right now the upstop has just got one little tack weld holding it on the bottom over there. I think that's all it really needs. It is just an upstop, so I think the little tack weld is going to hold it just fine. And I did that for a couple of reasons. Well, at least one reason. If I have to move it, conceivably I get in here with a Dremel tool and a cutoff wheel and I just nick the tack weld, and I can rotate the servo I want and maybe just touch it up with black paint. That was definitely one of the considerations. I could put it any length I want. If I had to do this over again, I would have made the base circle around the upstop a little bigger diameter, and I would have drilled a hole in it or holes in it into which I could have put a roll pin and pinned it to the bottom bracket. And then if I wanted to move it, I just separate the bracket, the upstop from the bracket, and rotate it around and repin it. So I needed a little more meat to work with. I don't know, maybe there's enough meat there. But anyway, that's why this is the way this is. Now, originally I intended to weld all of these things together. But then, you know, if I had a problem with something, it'd be all welded together, it'd be a pain in the balls. I wanted to bolt this all together, but there's no room behind here to get a wrench and a bolt. Even if I put a countersunk screw in there, a big countersunk screw, like this one, I wouldn't have been able to get a wrench on the head of the screw because the primary was in the way. And I wanted to keep this tucked in as close to the rest of the chassis as I possibly could. So at any rate, there's a bushing in the foot peg into which a piece of threaded rod is inserted, and it's all welded on the backside. So it's not just the weld holding this in, it's the threads, it's the bushing, it's the whole thing. So that's why this is the way it is. So this is the shaft upon which the brake pedal pivots. And my other concern was this hole has to be pointed in a direction that the foot peg dictates. And if I have it pointed the wrong way, the foot peg is going to fold back in an undesirable manner. Now, my concern on this thing was that as I'm stepping on the brake pedal over here, it's going to want to rotate this thing in a direction that will cause it to unscrew. Now when I tighten this shaft down, the foot peg will pivot on this hole right here, and it's the direction my foot will push it in. Like I said, my concern was that as you repeatedly step on the brake, you're moving it in the unscrewed direction. So I've drilled a hole in the shaft all the way through both sides, and I'm going to get my hand drill out, and I'm going to drill all the way through and stick a roll pin in there to keep it from unscrewing on me. So here's to good luck in not bringing a drill bit off. Just barely enough room to get this near but not quite touching the primary cover. Okay, let's see if I hit the hole on the other side. I did. Beautiful. There's only one hole there. So I managed to get lined up with the existing hole I had already drilled. Now we'll knock a roll pin in there and grind it off just a tad below flush. Nice. Nice. The CAD file on that bracketry is also available if you want a copy of that. Anyway, there it is. For those of you who think my pedal arrangement is ugly and awkward, take a gander at what Harley was offering a little later on in their era of these iron heads. Yeah, I'll take this any day. Much more graceful, much more elegant, much less clunky. These are the kind of parts Harley should have been making versus the let's get a couple of lumps of steel, drill a couple of holes, and MIG weld some crappy welds on there, and call it a brake pedal. I don't think so. So, this bike is kind of an interesting conglomeration of stuff. This master cylinder and both brake calipers are GMA brand, and they both came with the bike. The owner apparently was, the owner, from what I'm gathering, the owner was planning on using this master cylinder, and he had a pressure divider, and he wanted to run both brakes off of one master cylinder. And I don't know. I thought about doing that. I would have run them both off of the handlebar master cylinder, but he was going to do it off of this one. I've got the divider still. I like the idea of having two separate, completely separate, independent brakes, so that in the event a hose broke or a cylinder leaked or whatever, I'd still have one of the two brakes left. But anyway, that was his idea, and he bought the parts to do that, and that's where I ended up taking over this project. And I, of course, had a little different idea than he had. I was thinking about trying to tuck the master cylinder in behind here and using a bell crank to push on it, but I don't know. That got to be unnecessarily complicated, I thought, so I decided not. I did have this apart, and it's brand new. I mean, it looks like it on the inside, so I'm not going to do anything with it. And I thought this was aluminum. Well, it's made out of aluminum, but I thought it was polished. I actually think it's probably chrome. I usually don't like chrome, and I prefer if this was polished aluminum too, but yeah, I think this is chromed. But it has a date on it, 4-03. Can this thing be 22 years old? Yeah, maybe it can. I really don't know how long this bike has been sitting around. I mean, I know I've had it for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years maybe. These brakes and this hydraulic clutch are going to get DOT 5, and DOT 3 and 4, the way they absorb water and corrode things, I'm not going to use it. Nice. Been waiting to put this together for a long time. Finally, this is done. And I don't know if you recall, in a video a couple weeks ago, I tried to screw in the billet-proof hydraulic clutch, and it didn't fit. They had sent me a mislabeled package. I got a hold of them, a couple emails, a phone call, got it straightened away, and they just in today's mail just arrived the correct one. Right now I'm just plugging the hole. We'll get around to hooking the lines up and adjusting it later on. But yet another hole plugged. And I think I'm going to end this video right here. I rounded up some hardware for the motor mounts and such. Wednesday, 2 days from now, I got more parts coming. There will be a new coil. There will be the regulator, generator voltage regulator that replaces the end bell, so that could get bolted up. The coil could get bolted on. I could start wiring. So yeah, for right now, I'm out of here. I'm very happy with this progress so far. This thing is coming along great. Thank you all for watching ever so much, and we'll see you next time. Men, if you like this channel and this content, the single most important thing you could do to help grow this channel is to hit the subscribe button. I also have new design coffee cups and stickers available. You know, I like the old coffee cups, but I like these new ones even more. Links are included in the description down below. And for those of you who really want to go the extra mile, you could join me on Patreon. Link is also included in the description down below. And to all of you who have watched these videos, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye.